So why did I decide to upgrade? Why Crown Royal stoves? Why not a gasification unit? In the last video, I showed you guys that the Woodmaster 4400 is now out of the woodshed, and the upgrade I made to the woodshed was getting the Crown Royal 7300 MP outdoor wood furnace put in. And I'm sure there's plenty of questions that you guys are wondering, you know, things like, why did I decide to upgrade? Why did I go with Crown Royal? Why didn't I get a gasification unit? So I'm going to answer all those questions today, those three basic questions, and I'm sure there's going to be other questions, but we'll just have to answer those either in another video or on a live stream or at some point. So if you have any other questions after watching this video, let me know down in the comments, but I'm going to get to those three main points about, you know, why I decided to upgrade, and then why I went with Crown Royal, and why I didn't get a gasification unit. So I'm going to walk up here to the woodshed, and the sun is kind of behind me, so I might have to wait till I get up there. All right, so we were up in the woodshed. I just didn't want the sun glaring into the camera as it was behind me walking up here. So why did I decide to upgrade and get rid of the Woodmaster and get the Crown Royal? One of the main reasons, I guess, when I was thinking about it is just timing. Like if you look out there at everything going on, you know, prices of things continue to go up. The cost of utilities continue to go up. And so just with projecting out and looking forward, you know, it's just like, well, do I wait and end up paying more for things, or do I take advantage of the timing right now? And the Woodmaster 4400 that I had was 12 years old. It was going into its 13th heating season. I did put on a new door last year. And so it was kind of one of those things where it's just like, it still has some value to it. And so I didn't want to just run that thing until it was like just a big pile of scrap. Like I thought now is probably a good time where it still has, you know, maybe 10 years left in it. I don't know. So my thought was, if I sell it now, I can get something for it instead of just trying to continue to, you know, use it and then keep making potential repairs, or just running that risk of things completely clunking out. And so that was another reason, just having the peace of mind, you know, because like last year, like I said, I kind of went through that phase of I had to replace a door. So there was potential of things going wrong, and getting a new unit just gives me that peace of mind. So now, why Crown Royal stoves? You may have heard me talk about this, maybe either on a live stream on Friday night, or maybe it was in a past video, but I think it was 2 years ago. I started looking at all the different outdoor wood furnaces on the market. And when I was down at the Paul Bunyan show, the Crown Royal stove just kind of stood out. There was something about just how simple of a design it is, and how simple, if you remember, or if you saw the last video, when I was up in Tomahawk talking with Don, just going over all of the components, how it functions, how it works. It's just a simple design that the multi-pass unit is kind of similar to the Woodmaster in that there's not a lot of maintenance involved. So you put the wood in, you clean ashes out, and you just keep doing that all year long, all during the burning season. So that was something that I wanted. I wanted to keep that. Like I didn't want to, you know, be doing shutdowns and clean outs and all this other stuff. So that was one of the big things. So another factor that came into play was just how the Crown Royal stoves are built. Just the way they're designed, the shaker grates, the stainless steel, the cast iron grates, the ash clean out, and another big thing that I'm going to be showing you once we get ready to start things up, they have a rain cap on the chimney. So I no longer have to be going up and down, climbing up there to put a flower pot on top of the chimney when I shut it down and then take it off when I start it up. And like I said, it's built heavy duty, it's built with quality components, and it's just when I was looking around, like I said, at some of the other options out there, just the way these things are built kind of just stood out above all the other ones. The other nice thing is that Crown Royal offers one of the, I guess, industry leading warranties on their outdoor wood furnaces. So that was another big part. You know, if something would go wrong, I wanted to have that peace of mind that, you know, I was gonna have a company that would stand behind their product. So that was another factor that came into play. So the last of those 3 questions that I asked in the beginning, why not a gasification unit? And I kind of touched on this on why I went with the multi-pass. I just didn't want, and not that there's anything wrong with gasification units, but they do require a little added level of maintenance. And there's certain things that you need to do with a gasification unit that I didn't need to do with my previous outdoor wood furnace. And so I wanted to keep that same level of, you know, the weekly ash clean out and all that. Yes, I understand that there's that maintenance, but I didn't want to have to deal with some of the other maintenance that is involved with a gasification unit. Now again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with gasification units. I mean, they are a great choice. They are super efficient. If you're looking to cut down on your wood consumption, a gasification unit is definitely something to look into. And the pristine models that Crown Royal offers, they really can, I guess, cut down on the amount of wood that you would use in an outdoor wood furnace. So yeah, if you are looking at a gasification unit, like, don't take what I'm saying, like, I'm not knocking the unit and the gasification and all that. I just, myself, my personal preference was I didn't want to deal with some of the required maintenance that is involved with a gasification unit. So that's like plain and simple, as easy as I can break it down. That's the reason why I did not choose the gasification unit. Now, the multi-pass system here will be, from everything I've seen online and everything that Don's told me and Ryan from Crown Royal, I can still expect about a 20 to 30% decrease in the amount of wood that I use compared to the old unit. So we will see. I'm really looking forward to getting this thing fired up and then starting to see, you know, how many totes I have to bring in and how often. Because that is the one thing with the Woodmaster. And again, it's just because of, you know, the way that old wood furnace was built and, you know, how it was, I guess, designed 13 years ago, 12 years ago. They've made big improvements just with like the multi-pass system, the secondary, the 2 blowers, the air that's forced in on these multi-pass units to like reignite the fumes before they even go up through the multi-pass. So there's all that stuff that I think is going to contribute to having a much more efficient burning season with the Crown Royal 7300 MP. So there you go. There are the top 3 questions that I'm sure many of you have. Why did I decide to upgrade? Why I went with Crown Royal, and why I did not get the gasification unit. Now, if you have more questions or other questions, leave them down in the comments. I can either address them in the comments, or I will do a follow-up video, or stop on by at the end of the week to the Friday Night live stream, and we will be talking all about the Crown Royal stove here, I'm sure this week and many weeks to come. Now, we did drop down into the upper 40s last night for the overnight low, and I think it's going to be the same tonight. So I might be firing this thing up sooner than I thought. But either way, when I do, I'm going to bring you guys along to see that whole process and go over starting it up, the rain cap on the chimney, and all that stuff. So again, let me know if you have any further questions. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.